Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs. I'm sharing with you a sea turtle themed wreath today. Sea turtles are precious here on the east coast of Florida. We have a sea turtle hospital and sanctuary here that rescues and treats injured sea turtles until they're well. And then there's an event that's attended by the public to release them back into the ocean. So sea turtles are very cool. I love them, and I thought I would make a sea turtle wreath today for you as a part of our coastal decor series. I picked up that sign on Amazon. It's very cute, has a lot of cute wording on it. Go with the flow, age gracefully, etc. I have a 14-inch wire wreath frame from Dollar Tree, and here's some Deco Mesh as well from Dollar Tree that we'll use for the sky. I picked up this rope at Dollar Tree as well. It's the thinner rope, not the thicker rope. I have a few different ribbons here, of which I ended up using only two, one of which is the one you're looking at right now. I did not use that one, but I did use, of course, the sea turtle ribbon, which I got on craftoutlet.com. The striped ribbon in the coastal colors, I believe I got that at Hobby Lobby. And I have a little bit of Deco Mesh in white from Dollar Tree to add some clouds, some seashells that I ordered on Amazon. I generally get my seashells, starfish, anything like that on Amazon because their quality is very good, and I like my seashells to be in really, really beautiful condition when I use them on my coastal decor pieces. All right, let's get busy attaching this Deco Mesh to the wreath frame. I ended up not using that small piece. I don't know what I was thinking because then I would have to be piecing it together. So I'm just starting with a new roll. This Deco Mesh is a beautiful color to use for the to represent the ocean. So as I said, this is a 14-inch wire wreath frame from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use the method that I've shown in previous videos to apply this Deco Mesh. I start off by gathering the Deco Mesh in the middle and securing it with a pipe cleaner. And this entire Deco Mesh technique that I'm going to use on half of the wreath is the method that I use when I apply it from the underside of the wreath form. I attach it on the crossbar with the pipe cleaners, and I'll show you what I mean by applying this Deco Mesh from the underside or beneath the wreath form. I will include in my description box a detailed tutorial on this method of applying Deco Mesh if you would like to look at that video to see a slower, methodical demonstration of how I do that. So anyway, I push my Deco Mesh up through. I start with the center space. There's 3 spaces to push the Deco Mesh up through. I'm going to start with the center. I push my Deco Mesh up, fan out the sides, push it down in the center, and kind of form a small loop that looks kind of like a fortune cookie. Now I'm going to be pushing it up through the inside space. Pull the Deco Mesh up through. Watch me fan it out with my fingers. Form my loop. Push it down in the center. Fold it a bit to look kind of like the shape of a fortune cookie. Now I'm keeping my loops low or small on this particular wreath. It's just my preference. I don't want big loops on this wreath. And you can control that just by adjusting your Deco Mesh as you pull it up through your spaces. Now we're going to the outside space. Fan out the Deco Mesh by pulling out the sides. Push it down in the center. Shape your loop. Now we're going back to the middle space. Again, if you want to see this done slowly, I have a detailed video that I'll put in the description box. This is a very easy method of applying Deco Mesh. I generally do this on my lap, and I could fill this entire wreath frame very, very quickly with this method. In this case, though, I'm just filling half of the wreath frame, which is going to represent the ocean. And I go from space to space. Now I'm on my outer space. Next I'll go to my middle space. Then I'll go to the inner space, back to the middle, to the outer. And you just follow that pattern. Okay, here we have half of the wreath form filled with what's representing the ocean. Now I'm going to be just creating some bundles of 10-inch Deco Mesh, 3 pieces to a bundle. I'm going to show you that in a minute, how I made those bundles and applied them to the wreath form. But first we're going to look at this very cute sign that I got on Amazon. It's a kind of a tin sign. It's very, very lightweight. I'm going to take this rope from Dollar Tree and with some hot glue, gluing on just small segments at a time, I'm going to glue that rope around that sign. Now I'm going to show you how I made those bundles. I'm kind of backtracking here. I cut 10-inch pieces. You can use a rotary cutter or scissors here. And I used 3 pieces to a bundle. Now in this particular bundle, I'm going to put 1 white piece to try and create the illusion of clouds. I'm just going to roll up my pieces of Deco Mesh. There's my rotary cutter I'm showing you there. I'm just going to roll up those pieces of Deco Mesh. I'm going to be placing them in between my fingers, my index finger and my second finger. I press them together and I'm going to secure them with a pipe cleaner. And with the tails of the pipe cleaner, I'm just going to apply them to that wreath form. I'm going to use the second and third wire, going from wire to wire, second wire, third wire, second wire, and so on. And I just fill up the other half of the wreath form with those bundles. And now I'm continuing with the sign. I'm going to secure that rope to that sign with Gorilla Hot Glue. Now this will hold very well, but again, I just do small segments at a time. I found that it was easier to apply that rope that way rather than putting a long line of Gorilla Hot Glue, just small sections at a time until I've completely surrounded the sign. Now it's going to go on this wreath form, but first I'm going to create a bow. That's going to go around 3 o'clock on that wreath. And I'm going to make this beautiful coastal ribbon, striped ribbon in beautiful coastal colors. That's going to be my base. Now for this ribbon, I'm not going to make it too big. The same as I didn't make my loops too big, I'm not making the bow too big. I have bow tutorials, 3 of them, slow and methodical. I will list them in the description box if you would like to see how I make my bows. I use a method where I twist and fold the bow or the ribbon over, pinch it in the center with my fingers, and I have many different combinations that I do. Again, I would if you would like to learn how I make these bows, just refer to those videos. I use a pipe cleaner to secure it in the center. In this particular bow, I'm doing 4 loops or 2 loops on each side. I use a nice wired ribbon, always a wired ribbon to put on a wreath. I leave my tails about 6 inches long, and I trim them up after I make this top piece of the bow, which is, I'm making a mixed ribbon bow here. I'm playing words. I'm adding 2 ribbons to this bow. And this is the turtle ribbon, which is so cute, which I got on craftoutlet.com. And this ribbon as well is going to have 2 loops on each side. Fold it over, catch it in the middle with my thumb and my index finger. Now I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and secure those loops right down the middle. Twist it secure in the back. And then I'm going to create a single loop right down the middle. I also call this the button. So I just turn the ribbon under, catch it with my thumb. I'm showing you again here. Turn it under, catch it underneath with my thumb, hold it secure. And now I'm going to take that tail of that pipe cleaner, stick it right through the button or the single loop, bring it around the back, and give it a good twist. This tail I'm going to cut off from the spool, twist it, and I'm going to feed that right through that center loop, pull it through, and now we have the top layer of that mixed ribbon bow. This ribbon is very good, sturdy quality, so it's going to hold up very well on that wreath. And I cut off the tails. Now I am going to apply that piece, that turtle ribbon, to the striped ribbon. I'm going to pull my pipe cleaners up into a vertical position, separate my tails on both pieces, press it together nice and secure, bring the pipe cleaner around the back, give it a twist, and now those 2 ribbons are together in one mixed ribbon bow. I shape my loops, and I'm going to apply this around 3 o'clock position on this wreath. And all you do is dig your fingers down through the Deco Mesh, find a wire, and wrap those pipe cleaners around the wire. I like my tails pointing outward at 3 o'clock. I cut my tails at an angle. That's my preference. I usually leave my tails of my base of my bow a little bit longer than the tails of the top layer of the bow. But you do you, however you prefer. And again, as I said, you're just going to apply that by sticking your fingers down through the Deco Mesh and twisting the pipe cleaners around the wire on the wreath frame. Now to apply this sign, I simply used Gorilla Glue. I used the rope to glue to the Deco Mesh. I did not put glue on the tin sign. I applied the glue where I could, right onto the Deco Mesh, rope to Deco Mesh. And this will hold it very well. Now I'm going to use this, it's kind of a mesh, it's not wired, that I got from Dollar Tree, and this serves very well as it creates an illusion of coral. So I cut my pieces in about 6 inches, and I used 2 pieces, 6 inches. I bundle them together. I use a pipe cleaner that matches that. Not that it matters all that much because those pieces are going to be buried down into the Deco Mesh. I used, I believe, 6 pieces on this, and I applied it right to the ocean of the wreath. Now I also applied some starfish, some seashells. You can see I put seashells even on the sign itself, a couple of little tiny starfish to conceal the holes that were in that sign so you don't see them now. Look at that, it's beautiful. This is a very easy, quick wreath. Those are some little shells from Dollar Tree. I just glued my shells on with Gorilla Hot Glue. Works beautifully. Everything I used and the number of bundles, etc., will be in the description box. And one last look at this pretty wreath to honor our sea turtles that live in the ocean. If you like what you see on my channel, please subscribe and hit the like button and leave your comments. I love receiving them. Until next time, take care.